Have you ever wondered what Time Machine would look like if it was an extreme demon? No? Well, too bad, because I did. And with the power of quadruple spikes, straight fly, frame perfect timings, and even time travel, I turned Time Machine from an old looking level into this time traveling adventure. Hi, I'm Vortrox, and whenever I'm in the editor, that means I'm probably about to ruin a perfectly balanced RobTop level. Don't believe me? Well, watch this. Job well done. Also, the Geometry Dash editor is pretty darn complicated, so I'm just gonna slide over here. Yeah, let's begin. What I'm gonna do now is take advantage of this popular alternate route a lot of people know about, where instead of going down like this, you hold the button at the right time to jump above all the gameplay. If you didn't already know that, then congratulations, you just learned something new today. So I'm gonna start by placing spikes down here, and there we go, RobTop is back at it again with these off-centered spikes. Oh, RobTop, never change. This even line of spikes makes me much happier to look at. And now with this triple spike we placed here before, you have to do a really tight timing and then hold at the perfect time to actually make it up and then jump over here without going too far. But you know what? That is not hard enough. We're trying to make an extreme demon here. I'm gonna have to say goodbye to this chain. Sorry for my chain lovers out there. And I'm gonna put a medium spike right here, which may look impossible to some people, but if you zoom in a lot and look very closely, you'll see that there's like 2 pixels you can actually jump off of without dying. So now we have to do this, which leads us into the next structure we have to buff. I think what I'm gonna do is actually get rid of this spike, copy paste the block right here, remove this spike, place 2 medium spikes here, which forces you to jump in between them. And judging by the playtest line, it looks like it should work, but we have to actually test that. And it looks like it does work. Nice. I mean, to be honest, I didn't necessarily make it harder, but it did make it look cooler, and that's what super buffing is all about. Like again, by putting a spike here and putting one of these spikes here, it does not make it any harder, but does it look cooler? Yes. And that's what super buffing is all about. That takes us to this jump right here, and 2 spikes, I mean, come on, man. Do you think I'm gonna leave a 2 spike jump in a super buffing level? No way, Jose. Actually, I should have left those there because I'm just going to place them back, but I'm going to add 2 more for this perfectly reasonable, totally possible jump, which obviously is not possible, so let's fix that, okay? Now, this looks slightly more possible to me. As you can see, I squeezed in the spikes down here, but this is going to have to go, or wait. Actually, no, it doesn't have to go. I think I have a better idea. Okay, this doesn't look like anything significant, so let me just skip forward to the future when... Yeah, look at that. That looks pretty freaking wicked. Shout out to Clubstep for introducing us to the most goated structure in all of Geometry Dash history. I mean, seriously, tell me that's not cool. That now brings us to the corridor of triple spike hell. You know what this kind of reminds me of? Bloodbath. Specifically Michigan's part. And if you watched my Bloodbath video, you would really know I struggled with this part. This part really has it all, from triple spikes, to straight fly, to really tight ball clicks, to probably some of the hardest UFO gameplay ever made, even though it does not look like it. More triple spikes, and then a really hard wave part. So we gotta take some inspiration from that and take it over to Time Extreme. Which I did, and I think it looks pretty darn cool. I tried to take inspiration from like those torches that Michigan's part has in Bloodbath, but only use like 1.0 blocks, and it actually looks cool. Like I have the OG chains, and then just like those pulsing circles. And we got some really hard spike jumps, you know, with the gravity pad in true Bloodbath style. And last but not least, some straight fly. But it was way too easy with just these regular spikes, so I added like these mini spikes in, kind of as half decoration and half fixed hitboxes. Zoink, I hope you're proud of me. And it's nice and difficult, very difficult, but not too crazy, you know what I'm saying? And now I want to experiment with this new green portal that was added in update 2.2. This portal combines the properties of the upside down portal and the regular gravity portal, making it so that if you're just regular gravity, you'll go upside down, but if you're already upside down, it'll make you go regular. But if you put a green orb inside of a green portal, it kind of makes like a multi-purpose little click. If you click the orb before the portal, it kind of starts to act like a black orb. But if you make contact with the portal before you hit the orb, it kind of works like a yellow orb. So this can make for some unique and possibly confusing gameplay, which is pretty good for all our purposes. So I'm going to move all these spikes around here, and I place an extra spike right here. So the first one, we're going to hold the orb going into it, which makes us like jump down as if it were a black orb, like I said. And unfortunately, this jump is impossible that way, so we're just going to get rid of this spike and extend this structure over a block. That way it's actually possible. And I'm going to copy and paste it and put another one right here. So this one I'm going to have so you hit the green orb after you come in contact with the portal. I like where this is going. I like this. Then on this structure, I'm actually going to get rid of the little pulsing rod and I'm just going to put a spike on it. And then I'm going to move this structure over like this. You got to do this really hard timing. So right here, we have a 5-block long platform and there's not really enough action going on here for an extreme demon. So again, I'm going to copy these and pull it over here. Place another spike. And let's just test this real quick. Nice. I like how that plays. That's kind of satisfying, bro. Look at how the cube goes over the spike. That's, wow, that's satisfaction right there. And if we fast forward a little bit, I am now in the future with this abomination of gameplay. So the combination to get through is late, early, no, wait, no. See, even I'm forgetting, bro, and I just made it. Late, early, late, late, and then you do that jump, because this yellow portal sends you upside down. And just to stick with this theme of green we got going on, I'm going to get rid of the yellow portal, and just put the green portal there. Still serves the exact same purpose, but now it's green. A few buffed clicks later, and we find ourselves at the first coin, which I made way too hard on accident. The idea is you can jump off this platform and then do 2 really fast clicks into this pink orb, which help you get back up to the next platform. But oh my god, I'm in half speed right now and it's still way too hard. So if I get rid of the time warp, you'll see that after you hit the black orb, you fly down at like Mach 10 speed. Like, it's just unrealistic to do. Like, hitting these 2 is like fine, but the pink orb timing after it is like freaking top 1 difficulty stuff. Like, you're not even gonna find clicks like that in Tidal Wave, bro. But because I like the way it all looks, I actually added a toggle trigger right here, which activates this hidden pink pad down here, which is on group 68. So now all you have to do is just like focus on getting the yellow, the black, and the orange orb right, and then it should hit you on this pink pad, which should save you. It's still like insanely hard, but at least it is a coin, and I guess coins should be harder than a normal route, right? It's just a shame because I'm gonna be actually verifying this level myself after this video comes out, which means that I'm gonna have to actually do this. Be sure to check out my channel page. I might be live streaming right now for all you know. But yeah, let's hope this doesn't become too much of an issue later. With that settled, the entire 1.0 section of Time Extreme is now finished. It's now time to introduce some time travel into Time Extreme. So if you go here to the beginning of the level, you'll notice that the song makes this cool kind of like time traveling kind of noise, right? So it gave me the idea of starting the level off with like a very futuristic looking type of vibe that then like fades to white and then goes back to 1.0 temporarily. The main inspiration for this is actually that one scene in SpongeBob where they travel to the future and it's all chrome.
Why is everything chrome?
Everything is chrome in the future.
The only thing is, making these types of visuals in Geometry Dash is really hard. And I totally failed. So I went to Twitter to ask if any actually talented creators out there could see if making a design like this was even possible. And holy crap, I'd like to introduce Diamond Skull. He is a very talented artist. All of these screenshots you're seeing right now are all made in Geometry Dash. Yeah, I can't believe it either. But he replied to my tweet saying, "Not perfect or anything, but I tried," and shows me this. This is just what I wanted. Thank you, Diamond Skull. So, without hesitation, I hired him to help out with Time Extreme. And I don't even know how to introduce this part. You gotta just sit down and watch. Major shout out to Diamond Skull. He will be coming back later along with another talented creator, but for now, let's focus on the next instance of time travel I will be doing. Update 1.6. Update 1.6 is one of the most important updates in all of Geometry Dash history. It introduced the Demon difficulty, which is now the most important difficulty in all of Geometry Dash. It introduced map packs, which, you know, is debatable whether that's a good thing or not. Secret coins, brick blocks, destructible blocks, Electroman adventures, and most importantly, club set monsters. So after making some simple designs inspired by Electroman adventures, I knew that I had to include a club set monster. I redid the ground spikes, added some air decoration and structures to make the part feel less empty, and there we had it. The 1.6 section was decorated. Oh, and I buffed it. Should probably mention that. That's like the whole point of this video. One thing I'm really proud of doing with this 1.6 part is utilizing the breakable blocks. Because tell me, how many levels have you played recently that actually utilize the breakable blocks? Probably none, and I think that sucks because they're actually pretty cool blocks. So I decided to use these 3 big spaces to make towers or breakable blocks that I would build mazes inside of. And after spending way too long trying to make proper routes, I made this. And with that, it was now time to move on to the pink part. I think I want to time travel to update 1.9 now. I want to take inspiration from levels like 9 Circles, 8.0, and just a lot of other levels from the 1.9 time period that a lot of people call the golden age of Geometry Dash. So I'm going to start off by using all this stuff down here, just kind of making like pillars going up. And then I gotta add the outlines too, I forgot about that. And then I'm gonna get rid of these ground spikes down here and make them look more like this 1.9 style with these like weird blocky block things coming out in the bushes. And the best part about update 1.9 is that they added glow. This block right here might have been one of the most influential blocks to ever be added in Geometry Dash. There's basically not a single level you see nowadays that does not use glow in some way. But right away I'm noticing that the colors do not look very good here. This bright pink with just institutional white, I don't think it's a vibe. And let me just change the background color, because I already know for sure I don't think I'm gonna be sticking with this crazy bright pink. It's just a little bit too much. Like, let's try like scaling it down like that. Yeah, that's better. But one of the most marketed features of update 1.9 was the introduction of 3D blocks. I feel like people don't care too much about 3D nowadays, but at the time it was a pretty big deal. You know, the interesting thing is about like update 1.9 up until today is that like when you're first decorating something, like it always looks like so bad. Like to me right now, this looks so ugly. But I know once I add like all the saw blades and more details, it'll start to just come together more. But like right now, bro, this is not it. When decorating in Geometry Dash, you really just have to trust the process. It'll always look weird at first, but once you add more and more details, it all just naturally comes together. After lots of trial and error with designs, I finally came up with this pretty cool 9 Circles looking themed part, which takes inspiration mainly from Poltergeist. But I wasn't done with 1.9 just yet. For this ship part, I wanted to take inspiration from an insane demon called 8.0. I thought this design would be complicated to replicate, but it turns out that it's literally just default 1.0 blocks with some glow on top. It's amazing what a simple layer of glow can do, because look at the difference here. Then after that, I added in some saw blades, some arrows, and a new friend. You know, I kind of like this guy. It may just be a regular straight fly structure, except it for some reason has an eye, but I've grown to like him. And because it becomes blue just for his appearance, I think I'm gonna name him Bluey. There he is. There's Bluey, the big straight fly structure. So now when you hear the word Bluey, you're not gonna think of that dog cartoon. Instead, you're gonna think of Time Extreme by Vortrox. I am reclaiming this name. This is Bluey, not the dog. With that being said, let's finish this part. I should also mention the second coin. With the use of some random triggers, I made it so that there is a 50-50 chance the coin will rather move up or down each attempt. So you have to be mentally prepared to react in time if you want to guarantee getting that coin. Oh, and you probably could have guessed that my buffing strategy for this part is just a lot of straight fly. Hey, shout out Bluey though. I am extremely happy with how this part turned out, and now that it's done, I think it's time to move on to the next section. This part is pretty much just some simple cube gameplay, nothing too crazy here. And as much as I'm tempted to do like some update 2.0 or 2.2 stuff, I'm gonna save that until later. For now, I think I'm gonna visit update 1.3, which is the update that brought us the amazing X step. So the main things from update 1.3 I want to focus on are, of course, the clouds, the wiggly ground spikes, because RobTop just liked those at the time, the stars following you, and then these really cool blocks that were added in this update. I definitely want to take advantage of these new blocks too. You don't see them used very often, but when you do, like, they're pretty cool. I like them. So if we combine all this and go into Super Buffing Time Machine, we end up with this. Decorating this part wasn't very difficult since Geometry Dash didn't look a whole lot different from update 1.0 to 1.3, so buffing was really the main focus here. I focused a lot on orb timings in this part since orbs were becoming increasingly more common in update 1.3. I'll go over my 3 favorite orb buffs, starting with this one where you just have to time the pink orb perfectly to reset your momentum from this yellow pad, because if you didn't tap the orb, you just hit the spike above, and if you click it even slightly too early, you won't make it through the gap. This is a tough one, I like it. And I was really happy with how number 2 turned out as well. I transformed these 3 regular clicks into precise timings involving blue pads and green orbs, something I've actually never done before. And finally, this click. This click is just evil. To be honest, I'm probably gonna have to nerf this when I actually try to verify the level, because getting this click timing right when you're like soaring up after the blue orb is really hard to do, and I'm gonna struggle with that for sure. I also added stars in as the background becomes darker and it looks more like nighttime, which I think turned out nice. And with the 1.3 1.3 section fully complete, it was now time to time travel to update 2.0, my personal favorite update. I think I want to take inspiration from the 7 C's from Geometry Dash Meltdown. This was actually the first level I ever played because Geometry Dash Meltdown was actually the game that got me into Geometry Dash in the first place. So this is like kind of nostalgic playing this. Like this is the first Geometry Dash level I played, like before Stereo Madness and all that stuff. You know, I can't help but feel like Geometry Dash Meltdown is really underrated. Like, maybe because it's just such an old game and there's only 3 levels, like, there's really not a whole lot going on. Go play it if you haven't already, it's a fun game. But that is enough rambling, let's go back to Time Extreme, where I'm gonna do that in here. The first course of action I would take is changing the background, because I found out that 2.2 added a background trigger, which allows you to use different backgrounds in a level, which used to be impossible. Then I studied the way RobTop crafted the designs in the 7 Cs, and noticed it's essentially just brick blocks paired with black glow, black lines on the side, white lines on the top, and glow on top that uses the player color. This took way too long to do, like, I don't know why, but this literally took me hours to get, like, all the details right and make it look proper, but who cares? We're done, we did it. And this dude down here looks happy, so I'm happy. But, as you can see, it's pretty free. There is no challenge at all. There's not even spikes, bro. And when you have boring old structures like this you just hop on top of, there's one thing you gotta add, and it's spikes. What do you guys think? Be honest with me. Did I do too much here? Is this too much spikes? Okay, in all seriousness, I think because this is update 2.0 I'm going for right here, and that's the update that introduced the robot game mode, it would only be right if I use some robot gameplay here. Plus, it just allows for more, like, different types of jumps, which is a lot more fun than just the same exact jump as the cube, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking on these structures, we can kind of just, like, add these little mini spikes here that make it much harder. And then I'll also put, like, a bigger one right here. And let's see if that's actually possible. Oh, that's actually quite easy. Maybe I'm just secretly cracked at the robot now. I'm thinking of maybe moving this down 1 block, and then maybe copy and pasting the spike like this. Which would make you have to do like a challenging jump in between these structures. Wait a minute, that might actually be a good buff. Yeah, it works. I think for this structure, I'm gonna put like 2 mini spikes on either side. So you have to jump in between. Wait, there's no way that's possible. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta test that because there's absolutely no way that's actually possible. Oh my god, it is. Okay. I got that first try, but I have a feeling I got lucky because there's no way, bro. Look at how tight of a gap that is. I don't know. Would it really be a Vortrox super buffing level if the robot wasn't the hardest part? I think not, so I'm going to leave it in for now. Probably going to regret that because I'm actually trying to verify this level myself on stream. But, it should be fine. Okay, I added some simple mini spikes here and then a big guy right here. I bet you can guess what I did next then. Yes, I used spikes. And with that, I think this part is fully buffed now. For some reason, I kept procrastinating buffing this, but dude, it was literally just placing spikes. It was not that hard. That's why in life, sometimes you just gotta do things, man. You can't overthink it. Now, for this next part, I really want to time travel to update 2.1, specifically the early days of 2.1. Early 2.1 levels can be distinguished by their excessive use of thick outlines, rock blocks, grass and skulls, white details, these scythe saw blade thingies, clouds, and last but not least, neon pulses. Lots of them. So we're gonna combine all of those elements and put it into this part in Time Extreme. I'm not gonna lie, I think I cooked with this. I am actually so happy with how these designs turned out. They are way better than I expected. I wish I would have known how to do this when I was actually playing an early update 2.1 because I definitely would have gotten some sweet creator points with this one. After spending way too long, like I'm talking like a full day of just being in the editor, I think I finally finished the decoration for the 2.1 section and I am so happy with how it turned out. Like bro, I'm not even gonna lie, these designs, like they nail that early 2.1 vibe and I'm super happy with this. But with that being said, now it's time to actually buff it, because right now it is just regular Time Machine gameplay for the most part. So I did kind of buff this first jump on accident since I built this structure up here coming down just to like kind of fill in space. But the spike here actually makes it a hard click, so that click is already buffed. Let's go. I think I want to go right here next and put some spikes here and kind of experiment with that. Like, what could I do to make this difficult? Maybe I can put like a little dash orb here and make it so you just have to like lightly tap it without holding it for too long so you could actually make it down. I also got to make sure there's not a skip, because what happens if I go down and I just hold it? I can actually skip this jump technically. I mean, one thing I do know is that this triple spike just has to be buffed in general. I'm gonna just like space out these spikes a little bit and then add some medium spikes in between to make it look like a cooler, more intimidating jump, you know what I mean? And then to prevent this dash orb skip, I could just put an S block like right here. So like if you did try to hold it, you would just die here, so it's not even worth trying. And it's also fun to use a dash orb in this part because the dash orbs were added in update 2.1. So that's it kind of fits the vibe here, you know what I'm saying? And that brings us now to this lonely triple spike with all this empty space around it. What will I build? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna lie, you can probably guess what I'm about to build right now. He has a name that I bet many of you are familiar with, and I don't even have to say what it is. At this point, this monster does not need an introduction. Y'all know the name. It is the monster, the myth, the legend, Fitzgerald! Whoa! Everybody watching this video right now, I need you to go to the comment section and type in, "Hello, Fitzgerald." Not only is this Fitzgerald fully decorated, he even has adorable freckles. If that doesn't make you happy, I don't know what will. What an absolute legend. Gotta love Fitzgerald, man, but we can't spend all day on him. If you want more Fitzgerald, you gotta just go to my profile and go to my levels and play Hello Fitzgerald, the best medium demon in all of Geometry Dash history. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact, because if you play this, you will see that there's not 1 or 2 or 3, but actually 100 Fitzgeralds, all decorated by different creators. So I mean, you just gotta know at that point, this is a legendary level, man. This is the best medium demon in the game. Anyways, let's get back to buffing. As you can probably expect, I added spikes, portal gimmicks, and orb gimmicks to fully buff this part. But I had a creative idea to take this to the next level. For these clicks right here, I don't know. I don't want to buff these ones too much because I actually have an idea of like a cool transition I want to do. So like if you listen to the song, right? Like there's like a rising, like getting more dramatic and intense, and then it says this is the time machine, and then it gets into the final drop, which is like super fast paced and all that. Like I feel like this part deserves a cool transition, and I could totally do something cool. Or maybe I can't do something cool, I don't really know. But I might have a friend in mind who can make something cool, and I can guarantee it'll be cool because it's them and not me. I would like to introduce a creator named Gallofuff. They're known for being a very well-rounded and talented creator who has a very specific skill of making smooth transitions. And after we got paired up on a different mega collab, which I cannot name because it's a secret, I realized that they would be the perfect match to make a good transition for Time Extreme. But first I had to build the next part so that they would have something to actually transition into, so I built a short segment inspired by The Impossible Game, the original inspiration for Geometry Dash. Geometry Dash would likely not exist if RobTop never saw this game and got inspired by it, so it's a very important part of GD history that I thought would be cool to time travel to. And let me tell you, Gallofuff absolutely cooked with this transition. You gotta just see this. Absolute cinema. Just look at this. Is this not the crispiest transition you've ever seen? I gotta give a major shout out to Gallofuff. Go subscribe to the man. So now with the 2.1 section all buffed and done, and this transition done, the Impossible Game part is already done. There's not much to do here. It was a pretty simple game. I literally just have this part left. Like, this is it. This is the last thing I need to do before the level's done. Because like I said before, the last part is already buffed and decorated. It's just not showing up on the editor, but you guys will see it is the coolest thing ever. It's also made by Diamond Skull, the guy who made the thing in the beginning. So like, y'all know it's gonna go hard. But I think for this final section that I'm doing, I think it'd be cool to end it off with some 2.2 stuff. Despite the fact that 2.2 has been out for almost a year now, I basically have not touched like any of this pixel stuff because quite frankly, it scares me. There is a lot of blocks and I've already learned enough blocks in Geometry Dash and it's kind of overwhelming. Oh my god, like just look, there's just so much, man. Like how would you ever learn this? But I don't know. No time to whine and complain. Let's just start decorating some stuff. After lots of whining and complaining, I created this 2.2 section, which is heavily inspired by the Supers, the second level in the tower. Gallofuff also helped me make transitions for the rest of the level using just 3 objects that I can fade in and fade out to make transitions like this. Then Diamond Skull created the final part, which I'll show you in a second. But first, I would like to ask if you would consider subscribing and turning the notification bell on for my channel because I'm going to be live streaming Time Extreme every day for the next couple weeks and trying to actually verify it. So I'd love if you could stop by in any of the streams and potentially witness that one attempt where I actually beat the level. That would be pretty cool now, wouldn't it? So yeah, subscribe. And without further ado, let's showcase this level. If you want more from me, you'll probably enjoy this video showing up on your screen right now. YouTube thinks you like it, and I think you'll like it, so you should probably give it a try. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching.